Budden. Maybe that's gonna be the name.
Oh, Buttons is a good. Joey is always adamant when it comes to rap conversations about rapidy rappers, and I get it because he's a rapidy rapper, and he always wanted his respect. Even though I love Slaughterhouse, it just always felt like the rapidy niggas coming together who are like anti-industry. Like, man, fuck that. We just gonna rap.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
Everybody went their own way. Everybody had their own personal journey. Crooked Eye had his personal journey. Royce had his personal journey. Joel had his personal journey with Dre and all that. And we got Joey. Pump it up, Joey.
Listen, out of all those people that you just named, Joe is a nightclub staple. Right?
Right.
Like, any club that plays East Coast music is going to give you their good little 15, 20, 30-minute Just Blaze run.
Mm-hmm.
Pump It Up will be in there.
It's going to be in there.
And we love that.
Right.
Like, you have an actual rap classic. In 30 years, if we're still around, and somebody's making whatever the 2050 version of them throwback, CDs that you used to be able to order off of late night TV, Budden is on a list. Budden is on a list of hip hop hits, hands down. But
that's not enough for him.
That's not enough for him.
And
I want him to search within himself. Like, you've had the baddest bitches.
That's what it is.
You have a hip hop classic.
Right.
You've made money in multiple ways in the music business. Like, you're a journalist, and that's not bad. And it's okay. You're making more money than a lot of legit media people. I mean, not legit, because at this point, I don't even think it's fair to not acknowledge the fact that he is a media personality,
right.
For better or for worse.
Absolutely.
Harvey, whatever his name is, from TMZ, didn't start out as a media person.
No, I'm a lawyer.
You know what I'm saying? And that's literally the thing.
Right.
Like, a lot of people didn't start out as actual legit media people or whatever, and that's where you ended up, and that's not shameful. And I just wish that people would stop. Like, this is legit for Jay Electronica to be like, may Allah bless you in your career as a journalist, is the same as people dissing old boy for working at Trader Joe's. Like, you have a job.
Exactly. But that's the thing about Joe Budden. It's always been the thing. Joe has always wanted to be the man, and he's never been the man.
Aww.
From the beginning.
I wish we could.
When he started out with Desert Storm and Fad was the man.
I didn't even know he was affiliated with Desert Storm.
Oh, man, that was the humble beginnings.
I'd see. I was in Florida.
Yeah, so
I know Pump It Up Joey. I had a crush on Pump It Up Joey.
Mixtape Joey was a big thing because when Joey dropped, his first freestyle was the NBA freestyle. And everybody thought he was Rasheed Wallace because we didn't know who Joe Budden was. And there was like this rumor floating around that Rasheed Wallace was a rapper, which he did, but we didn't know what he sounded like.
Right.
So Joe Budden's was classic freestyle, NBA freestyle. Joe was a part of Desert Storm with Clue, Paul Kane, later on Ransom, Stack Bundles, the A-Team, that whole squad, Envy, they had a whole thing going, a long run, crazy mixtapes. Like, Joe was a mixtape god. That's how he got his deal.
Right.
Get your deal. First album comes out. You got to pump it up. But the album doesn't do what it was supposed to. You beef with your label. And ever since then, he's been mad. And it's just been a series of Angry Joe the rapper. And there's no doubt about how talented Joe Budden is.
Right.
As a rapper. And that's okay. But Joe, everybody can't make songs that are going to hit. Was he on Breathe? No, he wasn't on Breathe.
But here's the thing.
He did a verse on Breathe. But
here's the thing. Like, I don't care what genre of music it is. Every artist is not meant to have longevity. Some of y'all are supposed to just give us a moment.
Well, he had longevity, though. It wasn't even about longevity. Joe could have stayed around rapping for as long as he wanted. Right? Clearly, people would keep signing him. He'd keep getting deals. He'd keep putting albums out. People enjoyed his music series. Like, it wasn't a longevity thing. It was a level thing. And Joe always has an issue with people that are on a level higher than him because he feels like that should be his level. So Joe is also a rap fan. You know, you're a homie hater of rap and rappers. You know, we know you love Jay-Z. You don't feel like Jay Electronica earns his spot or deserves an Exhibit C. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the problems that I have with Joe, which ain't really problems because it's entertaining to me.
Right.
At this point, you know, I got people on Twitter want to argue with me about this, and Joe himself says, I'm a hater.
Right.
He said, I'm hating.
That's what he is.
So.
Well, I was just reminded by Facebook Messenger that 6 years ago this week, I was at South by Southwest. This was when I was part of hashtag Team Torre and also hashtag Team Sky Zoo. This was...
I almost wore that shirt today.
Right before or right after they dropped the Barrel Brothers project.
Ooh.
And we have so many Joe Budden season 1 or 2 of Love and Hip Hop driven inside jokes from that trip to South by. So yeah, I enjoy Budden for what it's worth. Anyway, you guys, hi.
Hello.
This is the Chopping Block Podcast.
It is.
You know that this is where we come weekly to talk to you guys about music releases and general things that affect the music industry, but more so on the release side of things. You know that we have a chopping block section on our website, istandardproducers.com, where we break down albums track by track. And we also have a credit check section on our website, which is the most comprehensive listing of album credits on the internet. I promise you, search your favorite plus album credits. You're going to pull up our site. And good news, hip hoppers. Ciz and I have the ability to continue to bring you this podcast without putting ourselves or our families in too much danger. And that's what we're going to continue to do as long as we're able to do it. Because I don't know about the rest of you niggas, but I need a sense of normalcy. I've been in the house since January.
Right.
I've been on a Chase debit card imposed quarantine since fucking January. I need to get out the house.
And this is generally around the time when our year really starts. Like South by is generally like our kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have that anymore.
Right.
So, you know, I'm used to taking 6 to 8 weeks off to plan for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm on.
And then by February, March, things start to pick up.
No. Yeah, no.
I felt really bad last week because I was, making jokes about the whole, black people can't catch it, all that other stuff. And when I tell you guys, I felt so bad because I don't want anybody to take my irreverence as just me being an asshole. And I also don't want anybody to take, my personal stance is that, the planet clears out every species every so often, and humans are not immune to that. And that sounds really fucked up, but if you really pay attention, y'all just nervous because this is the first time in a really long time that something has affected the first world.
Right.
But this type of shit, it's been an Ebola crisis in Africa for the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't remember chikungunya, which was 3-4 years ago. Same-ish kind of situation. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't really remember. Somebody tweeted, she doesn't remember what her parents were doing during the H1N1 virus crisis, which was the first bird flu.
That was swine flu.
Swine flu. Yeah. You don't remember because we weren't really affected. We weren't doing shit.
Exactly.
Not in America. So, in any case, but I don't want you guys to think that we're not taking this seriously, and I really wanted it to be clear and for you guys to know that we are still practicing social distancing. It's 3 of us in the studio right now in the entire building. We walked in here with Clorox wipes. We're going to walk out with Clorox wipes.
Right. Hand sanitizers, the whole nine.
Disinfectant wipes, because ain't nobody cut a check yet. Hand sanitizers on deck. Everybody has their own personal. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't want anybody to think that, we're being dickheads.
We're living dangerously.
I mean, we are, but not in this regards.
No. So, yeah, it's a crazy situation right now. What can we say? It's the the talk of the world. It's what everybody's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, we want people to just take this seriously. That's my thing. I just want everybody to be diligent. I don't feel like in this country we're taking it serious yet. I feel like the rest of the world has taken it serious. And this is where, right, but this is where Americans live in a bubble. And I'm talking to all my Facebook conspiracy theorists and everybody. Mm-hmm. Watch world news. Stop watching CNN and Fox and stay off of Facebook, you know, reading memes and passing around conspiracy theories.
Reuters,
watch
Al Jazeera,
news. Right, BBC.
Even if you're going to watch CNN, there is a CNN World
There's
channel.
There's a CNN World
if you
channel,
have good
CNN
cable.
International. Or if you watch it late at night, too. You know, it'll be CNN International.
Right.
And you will see what the world is going through. Mm-hmm. It is not just us. So while you guys pass around your conspiracy theories and, you know, we need to realize that corporations in America are going to milk us for as much as they can, for as long as they can, while the government figures out a way to force them to stop. Because people are out here because they feel like they need to work. So as we rolled in, we saw parking lots full, you know, not so much the streets, but people were still working. Mm-hmm. And we understand that certain things need to keep going. But when we say we need to sit our asses down for 2 weeks, there's a reason for that. Mm-hmm. And one of the reasons is it takes, 2 days to 14 weeks to know that you have it. Mm-hmm. 14 days to know that you have to get the symptoms of coronavirus or COVID-19. So we need to sit our asses down for 2 weeks at least as a country.
That's the name of this episode. So we know that, like, we're starting to see the state of Kansas has decided that all public schools are going virtual for the remainder of the school year. We've seen sports leagues cancel all of their, remainder of the season. Now we know that one guy that y'all were mad at from that one team.
Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert.
Hi, guys. Sports. That we all know that Rudy Gobert, probably didn't know that he was sick, probably didn't think he was sick and thought he was being funny. So
also, Rudy Gobert is black.
Why does everybody think he's not black?
Because he's French.
Hi, guys. I'm a non-American
They don't
black
understand.
person.
Listen.
Et je parle français, j'ai appris votre langue, mais bon. À la fin de fin.
Merci.
Oui, bonbons and all that good stuff.
But people have to understand, the ignorance level is high.
It is. Oh, yo, I don't even know how somebody must have forwarded something from someone I don't follow on Facebook, and I accidentally clicked on it, and then I went back before I could listen.
Was it the mega post of like CEOs and
how
and
people had just got all
kind of stuff?
Yo, this fool says, listen. I don't even want to repeat.
Y'all just need to write movie scripts.
Just write movie scripts.
Just write a movie script, because the shit that y'all make up, it would be the perfect movie. Look, all this content is out here, Netflix and all these other channels. They need content. Write movie scripts, because this is y'all need to stop.
Look, and all I'm gonna say is, like, let's really, like, all jokes aside, let's just be really vigilant about how much we buy into the hysteria. How much we buy into, if you're an empathetic person, like yesterday, I was sitting, like, this is not different for me, right? I've been working from home for the last year and a half, and I've worked from home
distancing for
ever
18, 20 years.
Yeah, people thought I left Atlanta. That's how much I social distance.
They didn't even know I lived here.
So that part is not different for me, but I found myself having to put my phone down and get off of social media because of the empathy of, like, other people, seeing other people stress out, seeing other people, when you talk about, Rolling Stone shared this article of the ways in which the coronavirus has affected the recording industry. And like Ciz said, for a lot of touring musicians and for a lot of people who are affiliated with the music business, the year really starts in March. And when you see statistics like somebody telling you that in one phone call, they lost $11,000 worth of upcoming business, upcoming gigs, you see all your DJ friends talking about their canceled events. You see all your small business owning friends talking about the business that they're losing or whatever. It's hard not to be affected by that. At the same time, like, I know y'all really want to try to find a reason why or a conspiracy behind or whatever. Like, please stop. Please be mindful. Please protect your energy and your brains so that, because this shit gonna get worse before it gets better.
It is.
We gonna be stuck in the house for real before we're able to go back out.
We are. And y'all gonna make it worse because y'all not listening.
They gonna limit, even your grocery stores, they gonna limit how often you can go. It may get to a point where we have to resort to something like, Venezuela. Is it Venezuela that's been like in the stupid dire financial situation for years?
Yeah, they've been pretty jacked up.
So, in Venezuela at one point, like, they literally, you could only go to the grocery store one particular day a month based on your last name or the last four of your social or whatever the fuck it was. Like, we may get to that point. And I just don't want y'all, like, I just don't want this to turn into the purge. Shouts to Philly.
Yeah.
And whatever fucking idiot decided to let people know what crimes they weren't going to be
I don't have a problem
anymore.
with that. And so I walked into Target the other day, and I saw a police officer here, and he said, we're not doing traffic tickets anymore. Like, we were told to just, unless it's like egregious, you're about to kill somebody or whatever.
Meanwhile, my stupid car decides it doesn't work
anymore. Because, like, it's funny because when you do something like that, you find out how many black people are really not progressives. You find out how many African Americans are conservative, right? Oh my God, there's going to be an uptick in crime. Like, criminals are going to do what they were going to do anyway. They're not going to be like, hey, the cops aren't here anymore. Let's sell more drugs, right? First of all, aren't we already out here saying all these nonviolent crimes shouldn't be, punishable? They shouldn't throw you in jail for them anyway. Isn't that our agenda? So now that we've got it, we're complaining about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we're complaining about that part. I think we're complaining about the. I don't know. I think that we subconsciously expect the worst in people.
We do. Oh, absolutely. And I'm from Philly, so I know. Like, this shit hit home.
So 285 is a damn speedway any freaking way. Nobody knows the actual speed limit on 285. But now it's like, oh, don't tell people they can speed. It's going to get crazy.
Well, people speed anyway. And studies show that speed limits are dumb, and we don't actually need them. So,
right, because people don't want to die.
In Europe, people drive 200 miles an hour, and they don't have accidents. So, speed limits are more about money, and tickets are more about money. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of our laws are more about money than they are about people.
Or safety.
Exactly. So the funny part about this virus is the money aspect is being thrown out of the window, and we're being forced to be people.
I think here the primary concern is still the money aspect. Here in this country.
It is until it can't be.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's why we're all still working. That's why people are still out here, because Americans are panicking because they don't know. I saw Mark. I heard Mark Lamont Hill had responded to a young lady who was preaching financial literacy and all this stuff. She was like, well, if we can't handle 8 weeks of shutdown, like, what are we doing out here? And it was just, you realize how many people don't understand.
Right. Like, anything. Everybody's not in a financial...
Most people can't take 8 weeks off of work and just not without a paycheck. Like, period. It's just...
At the same time, while these people over here talking about some rent strike 2020, I'm looking at them like, I don't know, dog. I'm going to pay my shit.
I don't know. Well, I hit up Sprint and I was like, hey, are you guys going to cut my phone off? And they're like, no, but you should still pay it. I'm like, all right, cool. See y'all.
But it allows you to put a hierarchy of needs on who you going to pay first.
Right.
And so my landlord may be the only person that gets paid.
Right. And that's what we got to do. But we got a stimulus coming. Yes. So people are complaining about that.
So of course they are, because that's what people do. So here's how this is if I could speak, how this is affecting the music industry. Number one, you guys. Well, actually, let's talk about how it's affecting it, and let's talk about what we could do. So, like I said, Rolling Stone did this really, really good article where they talked about the top to bottom effects of this. When these festivals get canceled, it's not just the festival getting canceled, but it's all the bartenders, all the stage hands, all the audio people, all the promoters, even, the booking, the travel agents that you don't think about that make money off a commission from booking their clients, on these tours or whatever, and still have a staff that they have to pay. So we are all being affected. Obviously, the music industry is no different. A ton of tours have been canceled. A ton of events have been canceled. They're still saying Coachella is happening in the end of the month. I mean, like in the fall. I still haven't heard nothing about the Lovers and Friends concert. Have you?
What concert?
Yeah, we ain't believe they was doing that shit anyway. That we know of: Young Dolph, Key Glock, Rod Wave, Young Nudie, YBN Cordae, Young M.A., Action Bronson, Smino, G Herbo, Lauryn Hill. I think Rhapsody was still on tour. All those have been canceled or, are being postponed, is what people are saying. The Dreamville Festival was supposed to happen on April 4th. That's being pushed. Something in the Water was supposed, and Dreamville is being pushed to August. Something in the Water was supposed to happen April 24th through the 26th, and they've just canceled that completely for 2020. So, that, I mean, again, when you think about the entire festival being canceled completely, I want y'all to think it's not just the artist, it's the artist's manager, it's security, it's the DJ,
sound man,
it's the sound man,
guys.
It's the people that work at the actual facilities or whatever. So I urge you guys to find ways that you can support these people in the interim, because these are the same people. And let me tell you, the biggest source of my anxiety right now is the number of people going, hey, creatives, now's the time to just be creative in the house. It's hard to be creative when you're broke. It's hard to be creative when you're worried about paying your bills. So, but these are the people that will definitely try to do what they can to support us and to keep us in good spirits. You've already seen John Legend with the Together at Home campaign that they're pushing, which is, a bunch of different celebrities doing concerts from home. Miley Cyrus apparently started a online talk show thing where she's interviewing other artists. These people are going to do what they have to do, whether it's altruistic and it's just really in a spirit of giving their fans and followers something to look at, or whether it's, financially driven. With it ain't nothing wrong with them saying, hey, I got to figure out a way to still pay my bills. I got to figure out a way to keep up my brand so that when this is over, there's still value in what I'm doing. I'm sure that there's a good amount. Like, I haven't heard anybody talk about canceling album releases.
No. Yet.
Because, we have to think that most of these things have been recorded ahead of time. Thank God we've been complaining about people not being able to work together in a physical studio and doing everything digitally. Right. But thank God that we are really at the point now where you can record whatever you need to record at home and send it in. And then that person can do whatever they need to do to it. So hopefully that won't get affected. You've seen a lot of these live stream concerts. People are doing drive-in shows. So there's a lot of different ways that they are providing you with the content. Now, how you can support. Rolling Stone wrote an article outlining 5 ways in which you can support independent artists at this time. And one of the things they said is that merch is still number one. So if you're going to order, now that we know that FedEx and UPS and the Postal Service have no plans on stopping their activity as much as they can, if you're going to buy shit, maybe think about buying something from one of your favorite artists.
Yeah.
In that spirit, Bandcamp is, this Friday, the 20th of March. For those of you who are listening to this late or whatever, you missed it. But they are waiving their fees off of any sales from midnight to midnight Pacific time. So from 3 a.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will not take any shares off of sales, which means that if you buy an album to support an artist, like for example, shouts to Four Eyes, who has a couple of guys from our creator fam involved with his latest project that's on Bandcamp. If you go and you buy that album, your entire 100% of what you pay is going to go straight to him. people are doing, like Erykah Badu said that she will be doing a little live stream concert this weekend because she was also on tour and that got canceled. She's charging $1 for you to come in.
It's pretty reasonable.
Hiatus Coyote, is that what they are?
Yep.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Hiatus Coyote.
Okay, just making sure. I don't know why in my brain I'm seeing a whole bunch of letters that spell out something more, but they're doing the same thing. They're doing their concerts from their Patreon page. Artists, producers, creatives. There are platforms that exist that have been around for you to monetize the shit that you do.
Sherry Hugh, she published a virtual music events directory. It's been updated daily. It's last recently updated March 18th, 2020. And it's a living document with 3 sections, a list of tools, a calendar of virtual live streamed events, and a forward. And it keeps being updated. So it has video, it has things that are free to play. It has ticketed and paywall services. It has audio, free to play, ticketed and paywall. It has simulcasting, virtual reality, live e-commerce, webinars and online education, virtual meet and greets. Right. And it has a live streaming event calendar and miscellaneous resources. This is a comprehensive list of things that creators can use with their audience and with each other to, stay in the mix, to work, to collaborate, and also, to put on shows and just stay sane, Right. And let me make sure
we're gonna share that on the Chopping Block podcast socials on Twitter.
Yeah,
Twitter and
shout
Facebook.
out to Sherry. That it's a lot of folks out here just trying to do the right thing. A lot of companies just alleviating some of the strain, right? Because we all got to get through this together, and right. I think we got to be people about it.
So the Recording Academy has a nonprofit. It's called Music Cares. They've pledged $2 million, I think, to a fund within Music Cares. The Broadway, because all of the Broadway shows have been shut down, the Actors Union is doing some stuff to support. We all know, obviously, that once the government starts saying things like, no more than 10 people in one place, most restaurants, all the bars, all nightlife is pretty much canceled for the foreseeable future, if we're being responsible. There's an organization called the Giving Kitchen. I think it's thegivingkitchen.org, where you can go and support people that work in the food and beverage industry. I know that on Saturday, which would have been because the 17th was St. Patrick's Day, so that would have happened. All the celebrations would have happened over the weekend. I know both Guinness and Jameson released statements and said that they're pledging $500,000 to the Bartenders Guild.
Pretty nice.
If you are still in a position where you can spend money, think about these people. Yeah. Uber Eats is doing free deliveries for a lot of places, which means that if you can order, I would advise personally, and I think I'm going to plan on doing that. If you have the money to spend, do it, even if you only do it once a week. Do it once a week. Tip as generously as you're able to. I always feel like when people post their tips, it's kind of a flex, and it's an ugly flex to me. Maybe that's not me walking in my rich bitch energy, but I definitely saw somebody who went and had a $36 meal and tipped $100 because people are gonna be fucked up behind this. I went and got my hair done yesterday. Is that responsible? Did I need to get my hair done so I'm gonna be stuck in the house for the next month? Probably not, but that $80 that I spent means something to the person that braided my hair. That
absolutely,
that's gonna go. Even if it's just this week's groceries or whatever. It means something.
Russell Wilson and Sierra pledged $1 million in meals, for food and relief. A lot of the schools are doing different programs to make sure their kids can eat. They have different locations. All over the country, these things are popping up. We got to take care of each other,
right?
And this is not the time to be selfish. It's really the time for community. It's really the time for us to think of each other and just do what's in the best interest of humanity right now. Just kind of step outside yourself. As a parent trying to teach my kids to be good citizens of the world, and And we should all be thinking that same way.
We should all. So, that's the message for me really right now for you guys. Like, we're not going to keep pumping you with this stuff weekly. We're in an industry where we're just we just going to have to kind of sit this one, go through the shit. But like I said, Rolling Stone has that list of things that you can do to support independent artists. We'll share as many of the resources as we can. We'll maybe do a thread on Twitter, sharing all the resources that we're aware of. If you know of things that specifically support the music creator community, please let us know. And know that we are working on virtual things that we can also do to help promote and support our creator fam. Yay. So, on to this week's releases. I would like to once again take the time to point out the fact that this fucking voice is golden, my niggas, and this could be your ad right here.
Right here. We have quite a bit of time and experience on the microphone, so we can pitch your product.
Yes.
We can talk about your event. We can do all types of things with these really great voices. We can enunciate. We can speak different languages.
We could even sing a jingle if we had to. Shoo-be-doo-be-doo.
Strangers.
Gangsta Grills is coming for you. It's my favorite fucking set of skits is on that damn Separate But Equal mixtape. Shout out to Lil Brother.
Super random, but I think Nick Fury posted on his Instagram that he produced Game Over for Little Flip, which I wasn't. I'm not sure if I knew that, but I think I knew that. But it was in the context of a conversation about T.I. Because apparently there was a funny story about T.I. originally, them wanting T.I. to be on the remix for that originally. So if you get a chance, look it up. But that was pretty cool.
Game over. So I don't know whose math was off. I'm going to say it's fucking Jay Electronica. It's not me. I did the math from February 7th plus 40 days. Should have been today, March 18th.
Yeah, not.
However, we went home last Wednesday, or was it Thursday? Either way, we got an album last week. No claps for Jay Elec. The album is out. It's called A Written Testimony. We know that you guys know that we're fucking with it because we've gotten a good, close to 10,000 hits on the website off of that just content that we did covering that project.
Yep.
So yeah, we started, they were supposed to, we know that, and I feel like, again, I really feel like they moved the date up because they were supposed to be doing listening sessions in New York, LA, and New Orleans last week. They ended up canceling all of those. Then they announced they were going to do a live stream on YouTube and IG, and that happened. And then somewhere around 12:30 a.m., project was out. I enjoyed
it.
It's problematic as fuck. Not problematic.
If you want it to be.
It's not problematic.
I mean.
It's very, listen, from the intro with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talking his talk, it was like, look, niggas, we about to make the album we wanted to make, and if you don't like it, that's fine, but this is what we're making, and I think that we would benefit from more artists having that stance.
Yes, and I also think that people having an issue with the album is also okay.
Yeah.
There's different ways to look at art. You can look at the artist and the art. You can look at the art. You can look at both. You can look at neither. I think this is a situation where a lot of people have said, hey, this is a good album, but it's some shit in here that's pretty racist. Some stuff in here that's pretty hateful. And that's fine. Everybody's, we have our points of view. We have whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If I was just talking about the raps, from a rap standpoint, I enjoyed this. From a music standpoint, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
From a political standpoint, I know who Jay Electronica is. I don't even think Jay Electronica knows who Jay Electronica is, and I think that's the cool part about Jay Electronica, because there are a lot of hypocrisies with all of us, and he is no different. And we stand in our truth, but that truth is relative to what the weather is outside.
Yes.
So,
just like as so many people who were ready to throw Jay-Z away in January.
Right.
When he partnered with the NFL, they were like, oh my God.
Now this is his album. But now that's a Jay-Z album.
Jay-Z ate him on his own project.
Listen. Stop.
There is a song on here called The Never Ending Story. I think that's the one. There's a lot of words in that song. And I feel like part of me feels like I want to go find the lyrics. Part of me is like, no, sis, it's okay. It's just, listen, it's no different to me than when I listen to Nigerian music and I don't catch all the words and I still enjoy it because it's still a bop. And who knows what kind of, there's a song that I love that is, which I actually understand all the words to that one. But I happened to Google it one time and saw that there were a bunch of feminists that were so opposed to the song because it's a song about basically grinding on a broad at a party. That's what the song is about. I'm from South Florida. It's life is about what that song is about. It's quite misogynistic.
Some people like to be grinded on.
Apparently, it's quite misogynistic.
Okay. All right. Sometimes if things aren't for you, then that's just fine.
It's okay for things that I think we might have to just change the name of this podcast to It's Okay If It's Not For You. Because I think that we just preach that regularly, quite often, because this is who Ciz and I both are. And we don't always agree on everything, but we could always just be like,
it's cool.
It's fine. We don't have to agree. So back to this a written testimony. My favorite song on here is the hardest for me to listen to, which is All Praise Is Due to Allah. At the very, very end of the project, the song where Jay talks about he got numbers in his phone that'll never ring again.
I felt that.
I felt it very deeply. But it's a beautiful song. And like I said in the review that we did for the project on the site, the way they executed it was heartfelt. It captured the emotion in the song. And it was a perfect way to close out the project. Like after I got to that song, I didn't want to hear nothing else after that. Wouldn't have wanted to, wouldn't have been able to process anything behind that. That was pretty perfect. I think the fact that Shiny Suit Theory lived up or stood up or held up, is that the word that I'm looking for? Held up the way that it did. My guess is that they took Shiny Suit Theory and kind of built everything else around it. But when you listen to the album from beginning to end, it fits right in. Can somebody explain to me why Hov sound like he recorded his verse on that song from a jail cell or a prison payphone? That ain't what it sound like.
It is.
Why does it sound like that?
Might have been what they were going for.
Okay. So from a from a producer standpoint, like how did you feel about the sonic elements of this project? Not the production itself, but like the mixing and the way that things were used.
I think, first of all, some of the greatest engineers of our time worked on this project, recording, mixing, and mastering. So there was a desired effect that they had in mind, and it was. Sometimes we have this thing where you don't want to make things too clean, right? And there's also clean dirty. So I think because of Jay Electronica's production style, they mixed it perfectly.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna be honest, the first time I listened to Flux Capacitor, I was like, what the hell's going on? Like it was so much happening in my ears because I'm used to listening to beats and I'm listening to the parts. So my brain is like breaking out each part and I couldn't do it. It was just too much happening. I felt like I was being attacked by the beat. You know what I'm saying?
I felt like that on, I think, Ghost of Soulja Slim.
And I'm listening to the raps with the beat and I'm just like, oh my God, this works, but it shouldn't work. This is like, it shouldn't work. But it's very much Jay Electronica. Like this is why at 43, this guy dropping this project is still such talk of the town because he's an interesting fucking person.
He is.
And Joe Budden, I'm sorry, he's more interesting than you.
Oh, Joe.
And it's just something about this guy. It's his allure. You know what I'm saying? Like if he put out an album once or once every 20 years, he'd still have an allure about
Nah, bro,
him.
don't wait another 20, my nigga.
He might.
Nah.
Because he don't even want to put out an album.
Okay,
I
cool.
feel like he didn't want to put this album out.
And that's fine. But I don't want one in 20 years. I just want you to know that now. Shouts to Young Guru, who recorded most of the project. So, if y'all got something to say about how the shit sounds, he mixed a good half of it as well.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
So,
I mean, sonically, I think it's right where it needs to be. Guru knows how to capture the element. Like, when you're a producer and you do a certain thing, the engineer is not supposed to come in and, for lack of a better term, whitewash your shit. He's not supposed to go over it and take away your vibe. You know what I'm saying? This was Jay Elec's vibe.
Yeah.
His job is to make sure it's sonically, coming through in a way that's not peaking or, doing too much or whatever. But he's just cleaning it up and maintaining the integrity while boosting, making sure you hear the vocals and things like that. So,
if you go back and listen to Act 1, if you go back and listen to, that original mixtape that Jay Elec dropped in the MySpace years, which is on YouTube, it sounds like this is the continuation of that.
Yeah, but what I will say is, if you listen to a track like Shiny Suit, which we heard before, this version sounds way better.
Does it sound different to you?
Yeah, completely.
I didn't listen to it twice.
Yeah. It's it comes through correctly. Like it comes through the speakers the way it's supposed to. The last one was kind of like sound kind of bootleg. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't. You can tell when something's not mixed yet, and somebody puts it out versus when it's reached those touches. When it's mixed and mastered, you can hear the difference. So in that particular track, period, you can definitely hear a difference between the version that's on YouTube versus the version that's on the album. So,
well, Flux Capacitor is my jam. I know that that's not a universally accepted thing.
No, that joint that's a amazing record.
That's my jam.
There's so much lyrical candy on this joint between Jay and Jay. And it's funny because I feel like a lot of what Jay Electronica said, y'all just didn't get yet. And a lot of what Hov said, y'all didn't get. But you only get it because the people who got it have been sharing it as they got it. Jay-Z has always been that guy that you had to go back to and listen because he always uses double, triple, and entendres.
What I've always loved is the Hov that goes back and breaks the shit down for you.
Exactly.
Like, survive the drought, I wish you well. How sick am I? I love him. I'm sorry. So shouts to all the people breaking down the lyrics for you on the internet. Shouts to Genius. I'm sure
Peter
they have
Rosenberg
all of them.
is breaking down the lyrics because he took offense to the synagogues of Satan.
Yes. And so, there was this whole little thing with DJ Z from DJ Booth, shouts to him, who posted on Twitter that, the album sounds good, but that there's a lot of, he actually said that some of the things that Jay Electronica was saying were dangerous in that he felt like Jay Electronica aligning himself to Mr. Farrakhan was reprehensible. Him feeling like Jay Electronica aligning himself to Farrakhan, that being reprehensible, is something I can respect because DJ Z is a Jewish man.
But he's also not the only person to feel that way.
Right. And Farrakhan is a very polarizing person. I have I have friends, very, very close friends who are members of the Nation of Islam. I know people who are related to Farrakhan, and they sometimes say shit where I look at them like, so I respect that. I was curious about specifically what Jay Electronica said that Z felt was dangerous. And so I asked on Twitter, and he ended up deleting the post and DMing me, which I respected. I respected that he was open to recognizing that maybe it just wasn't his place to even say anything.
But then Peter Rosenberg said something afterwards.
Right. And I don't know that Peter Rosenberg might have not even known that Z's tweet went up.
No, but what I'm saying, as another Jewish person who listened to it in hip hop, like anybody that was Jewish in hip hop listened to it, heard what he said. But the irony is, he said, and I bet you a Rothschild, I get a bang for my dollar. The synagogue of Satan wants to hang me by my collar. You dated a Rothschild, so... Isn't
he still dating?
I don't know. No, that's his ex.
Well, he dated her and she financed his whole entire life for a minute.
So, you...
So take it with a grain of salt.
And that's the hypocrisy of... And let's be clear, hypocrisy's fine. It's normal.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a thing when it plays into religion, right? Because you have people that have religious beliefs, but they don't exhibit the fruits of those religious beliefs on a daily basis, which is also normal, right? They're not consistent. I'm pretty sure Farrakhan and people, I know people in the nation, I know Muslims, I know Christians, I know every religion, people who don't live any of the shit that they're supposed to on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
But we get a rap song, Jay Electronica, you're dating Rothschilds, but you're also saying hateful Jew things.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to call you to the carpet.
And so the same way that I respected Z having a sidebar conversation with me and explaining to me his point of view,
Mm-hmm.
and me saying to him, I wasn't trying, and I mean, it turned into a thing, like mad people was in my mentions all fucking weekend retweeting dumb, hateful shit, and I had to step up and stand in that space and say, hey, I've known Z 7-8 years. Z is an ally. Z is a supporter of hip-hop music, of hip-hop artists. He's created platforms that benefit you guys. Like, this is one of the people behind AudioMac. And AudioMac has, I think, forced the hand of a lot of these other streaming platforms in the way that they've always been pro-artists.
This is where the conversation...
But what I was going to say is, the same way, Joe, like, when you make this project and you started out with Farrakhan, you stand up and grab your nuts. You got to take it.
You got to.
You got to take that people are not going to fuck with it, and you can't get defensive about it and upset about it.
Here's my problem with hip-hop. Here's my problem with Black America. We cool with white people until we're not.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, everything's fine until it's time to rail against the system. Mm-hmm. Because everybody I know who railed against the system, you also hanging with a white dude. Like, I don't really see too many people that's just standing on this separation square, because you could get out of here if you want.
Right.
You could section yourself off, but you don't.
You don't.
You take and use until it's not convenient, then you go back in your black box. And It's lame. And I'm going to call you out on it. If Z had to take it down because Z's a leader. Z understands he has a platform that he has to maintain, and Z cares about the integrity of not just Z, but Yo and Donna and everybody on his staff and the people he works with. So there's certain things that we can't say because we know that the ramifications aren't just on us. So once again, I think it was another tweet that he had where people started attacking him, and I defended him, not because he needed me to defend him, but it was like, we don't get to have opinions.
Right.
Because we're being rational, and then all the irrational things happen, and then it becomes, he's a white boy and rap and blah, blah, blah.
Right, because that was the first thing. They benefited off of...
If you go under Peter Rosenberg, all you have is all of a sudden everybody turns into a hotep and it becomes a race thing.
But
and it's not white people.
But y'all been listening to that show for 20,
and
30 years.
It's not white people, it's black people attacking somebody of another race. And that's just not cool. It's not cool. You can't be the thing that you complain about.
Exactly.
And that is too much of the norm. Like, let's understand that we say things and it affects other people. Jay Electronica decided to say what he said. He decided to make the album. It's okay for somebody to not be okay with that.
And I'm sure he knew people would not be okay with some of the things.
Listen, my granny don't like Farrakhan. And she, South Carolina, black lady raised, because she was around. You got to realize, like, older black people have seen things that younger black people didn't see about these people. They were around when Malcolm was still alive. They were around when the older guy was
Elijah Muhammad.
Elijah Muhammad was still here. You know what I'm saying? So, and there are a lot of Muslims. There are a lot of actual, well, I'm not going to say, but people that are not Nation of Islam who don't rock with Farrakhan. I saw a lot of
Shiite and Sunni Muslims.
I saw a lot of people from back at home. I saw masjids posting things on behalf of the congregation, calling out Farrakhan for things that he says about the religion, because there's a clear distinction between being a Muslim and being in the nation. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly.
So let's not just all use it as an excuse to jump on white people. You know, let's let people have a nuanced debate. Let's keep it above board. Let's not do the whole slander thing because y'all gonna be in Z mentions asking them to put your music on Audio Mac and can you review my song on DJ Booth? Hey, Peter Rosenberg, can y'all play my music on Hot 97?
I bet you. We book y'all tomorrow to go on that show. Y'all going.
Y'all hit the whole.
And we can say the same thing about Rosenberg. Rosenberg has been the primary person at Hot 97 for 20 fucking years, finding a way to create a platform for independent artists. Mm-hmm. If they told him he got to be up there at 1 o'clock in the morning to get y'all on, he's up there at 1 o'clock in the morning to get y'all on. Not for him, because he's already who he is and where he's going to be and gotten music checks, gotten WWE checks.
Clearly, he loves the culture.
Right.
Because the culture is not a race.
Also, because the culture's been around for 40 years, you guys, and at this point, like, Beastie Boys' debut album just celebrated, 30 years?
But y'all cool with Rick Rubin, though, right?
I mean, listen, anyway.
Get me out of here. Calgon, take me away.
Moving on, Lil Uzi Vert dropped the same album, but it wasn't the same album.
And it still worked.
I'm so fascinated.
14 new songs.
14 whole entire. There's not one song on the deluxe version of Eternal Take that is on the original version of Eternal Take. Not one.
14 new joints.
Meanwhile, the first project, #1 on the Billboard 200 charts. It says that it looks like it's going to earn an equivalent of 225,000 albums for the week ending March 19th, which is this week. So that's the second one.
That's the second one. The first one, I think, was doing 350.
So he hit #1 last week, and he's likely to hit #1 again this week. He had 20 songs from the original one that hit the Billboard, the Hot 100, which is the singles list, not like just rap singles, but like everything out there. And then he just turned around and was like, "Hey, here's another album, same name." He said that technically the second one was, what was it called? Love versus the World.
Love versus the World 2.
Which means something to the kids who are clearly supporting him. I enjoy Uzi. I enjoy Uzi's success.
I really like the second part.
I haven't heard it.
I'll be honest. Like I like the first one was cool, but this one, and this is the one where he's got all the features and stuff. Mm-hmm. But this one is like the bops. These are the bops.
So that's the one I should listen to.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Who else dropped last week? Well, actually, before we get to them, your boy Donald Glover gave y'all an album on Sunday morning. And then before he went to bed, he was like, never mind.
He took it away.
Fine. Y'all don't appreciate greatness.
Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away.
The project is called Donald Glover Presents.
I got it.
From Ciz. Well, from the same place Ciz got it from.
Google Play Music.
Because we don't want to, put nobody out there. So the name of the project was also the name of his partnership with Adidas, which they have confirmed as of yesterday, as of March 17th, that it is over. And I don't even remember when it started. Did you know that he had a partnership with Adidas?
I did not.
Well, there you go. Donald Glover's out here just getting checks. It came out during Coachella last year. When he literally airdropped his Adidas sneaker to lucky attendees. Listen,
So you just look up and
am excited.
Sneakers are falling from the sky?
No, the code to your phone. He airdropped it to iPhones.
There you go. I thought you meant like drones airdrop.
Right. So he, this is what he's doing. And I fucking love everything about Donald Glover's career so far.
But is the album coming back?
I mean, that's not my problem. I'm not one of these peons that didn't know. I don't know what y'all gonna do.
How do you put an album up for
I don't know what y'all gonna do,
hours?
but I heard it. And it's banging. I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, 21 Savage, Ariana Grande. Mm-hmm.
There's a couple other features on there. The Feels Like Summer is on there, in case you guys were wondering where that song was going to live. It's on there. His kids are on there. Mm-hmm. The most adorable outro. So it's funny that it came out during the anniversary week of To Pimp a Butterfly, because I feel like a lot of what people's problem was with To Pimp a Butterfly, and I said this to somebody the other day, if you listen to Kendrick's actual album discography, right? Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn are stories. They play out that way.
Right.
He recorded them in that way. And I think that's the trilogy. And To Pimp a Butterfly was just a one-off. It feels like like I went back and listened to it because I wanted to write something about it for the site. It feels like performance art. It feels like it's the funkiest shit that we got, I think, in the last decade. It continues a musical legacy that a lot of artists that are in the mainstream don't usually follow. And I think it was extremely daring for him as a as the artist that had just dropped Good Kid, Mad City and gotten Grammy nods and gotten all this attention, for him to turn around and give you that album was super daring.
It was. Now, I'll give him that. And, you know, he scrapped an entire album and decided to do that album because that wasn't supposed to be the album, which I guess is why we got Untitled.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Untitled was supposed to be in the same vein as Good Kid, Mad City. And I'm not mad at the performance art aspect of To Pimp a Butterfly. It was definitely a moment in music, period. Just the jazz, the vibes,
that damn Rhapsody verse. So good.
But still,
Y'all didn't want it.
in Kendrick's discography, it is my least favorite.
That's okay.
And it doesn't mean that it's not a favorite.
Right. It's just your least.
My least favorite.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So unlike Kendrick, I think Donald Glover gave us the same shit that he's been giving us.
Yes.
This is a continuation of that album with Stay Woke on it. I know that the song is not called Stay Woke. And I just think it's amazing that somebody who generated his rap name from a Wu-Tang name generator could turn into this artist. Salutes to him. Let's see. Our hot girl Meg landed in the top 10 Billboard Hot 100 albums, or Billboard, not Hot 100, Billboard 200 albums. That's the number 10 album in the whole entire list of releases, not just rap.
In the world.
She's at number 5 on the rap chart. Jadakiss came in at number 10 on the rap chart, or number 15 rather, on the rap charts.
Uzi's number 1.
Uzi's number 1 on the rap chart. He's number 1 on the regular chart.
Baby's number 2.
He pushed down Uzi pushed down Roddy Ricch, who now has had the box at the number 1 position on Billboard Hot 100 for 10 weeks.
The box keeps rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Drake.
He's gunning for Lil Nas X's run.
Oh, he's got a while to go.
He's only got 7 weeks.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a whole lot.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
It depends. You know, are we gonna run out of music?
Probably not. Oh, and shouts to Jhene Aiko, who came in with the number 2 album on the Billboard 200.
Yeah.
This first
Chilumbo.
The biggest debut for a female R&B artist since Beyonce's Lemonade. Let me say that again. The biggest debut for a female R&B artist since Beyonce.
That's pretty huge.
Jhene fucking Aiko. You did that, sis. Number 2 on the Billboard 200. Number 1 on the top R&B album charts. They said it raked in 170 million global streams. Singles from the album have raked in a cumulative 700 million cumulative streams. That means that 170 million people listened to the whole thing from beginning to end. And then y'all went back and replayed certain songs to add up to 700 million.
Wow.
She has a tour. It's sold out. I don't know how that's happening.
Maybe it's planned for June-ish.
June 20th. Well, no. It's scheduled to kick off May 1st in Boston and end June 27th in St. Kitts. We talked about it. I just forgot that we talked about it. Maybe it wasn't called the Magic Hour.
It's not one of the ones with Live Nation canceled when they lost $1.8 billion, I guess.
I mean, Also, shouts to all the people who had bought mad tickets with no insurance.
Oh man,
hate to see it.
Ugh.
I think it's amazing that 2 weeks after y'all was over here screaming R&B is dead, that an R&B artist came in with the #2 album in the whole entire country.
See, who said that shit? Who started that?
Dumbasses.
Nah, there was a patient zero on that. Somebody asked that question. Well, we'll find out. Somebody asked that question on Twitter, and then it kind of exploded from there. But that was just the dumbest thing ever.
Dumbest.
All this R&B. Oh, Young M.A.
It's like she listened to R&B any damn way. Like she listening to R&B any damn way. I feel like Young M.A.'s Sexy Time playlist is wrapped the fuck out. And this is coming from a nigga who got Jay-Z on her Sexy Time playlist. Like mad rap shit on my
I can see that though.
Fucking
Hov got Sexy Time rap records.
Kanye.
That's like 1 Minute Man. He's got
That's a Sexy Time record?
Sure.
You don't want to hear that while you fucking. That's so much pressure, bro.
I don't want to hear it, but I'm just talking about the vibe. Fiesta. No, not Fiesta.
I think it's because Fiesta. I have
What's the joint with Maya. Best of Me.
Yeah, that's not on there. What's the song called? What's it called? I Know. Is that what it's called? She got old thing back. She wants some heroin tracks. She likes it.
Songs.
Yeah, no, I have rap songs. Wow. I have rap songs on my shit.
Nigga, hey, listen, shout to whoever, y'all gonna have y'all Timbs on when y'all fucking it.
Real ass rap shit on my I got Nipsey on there. Yeah,
see, like I got what's that joint? The joint Prodigy did with 112.
Yo,
that joint is hard. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know what you're talking about too.
That's better than Jay-Z.
I mean, better. It's subjective. There have been times where I've just been like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have had this on. But what it is it's just it's not really a Sexy Time playlist. I have a playlist called Cool Out. And it's just all of my mellow shit is on one playlist. And typically what happens is I'll pull up the playlist and I'll kind of I'll put it on shuffle. I'll kind of look at what's on there and I'll, take some shit off of that run. But Hov is always there.
It's not LL Cool J.
Hov is always there. All right. With the success of Lil Uzi Vert, Brandon Finessin is now at the #1 spot on the Hot 100 producers list that we still don't understand.
Let's go, Philly.
But salutes to him on that.
Y'all can read the whole credits to both projects. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
On iStandard.
Shout to Uzi's engineer, Kaylee, putting in this work. She had a little moment on Twitter. She felt vulnerable and she was like, I'm not doing too well. I'm not getting my respect and things like that. And it's funny because Mike Dean had a similar moment during the Wyoming episode. My man had to get an IV. Like, it gets real when you're mixing these records and trying to make these deadlines. We gotta treat our engineers right. Mm-hmm. Gotta show our engineers love because they're out here busting their ass. Mm-hmm. They're the ones in the studio with us all night. Even when we go to sleep, they still awake.
Dealing with your bum ass homies.
Exactly. So, shout out to Kaylee. We appreciate you.
More love for the engineers. Mm-hmm. I don't know how. Well, no, we know how because, like we said, this is typically when the industry kind of turns up. So we got a shit ton of new music. Shouts to Rap Radar because I just went through and kind of just rate their whole let me not use that word. I just went through and pillaged their whole entire list.
Are we not going to talk about Drake?
Releases. Oh, I'm sorry. I forget Aubrey sometimes. I put this on the list. I put this on the list though.
Drake broke the record for the most Billboard Hot 100 hits of all time. He is now the sole record holder for the most entries ever on the Hot 100 chart. He has 208 Hot 100 entries throughout his career.
And let me tell y'all how that happens because I know some of y'all are sitting there like, I can't think of 208 Drake songs. That includes every collaboration, every feature, every, Rihanna, What's My Name. It includes the Every Girl in the World record with Young Money. It includes the shit that he's done with Future. It includes, of course, his infinite list of bops, because love it or hate it, Drake gives y'all good music.
And his first
Drake
charting
is on the
single
Sexy Time playlist.
was Best I Ever Had.
That song's not on there. No. Fuck out of here. No.
What is her playlist about? I can. You got an interesting playlist.
I do. Best I Ever Had ain't gonna be. Yo, do you know how? No. Again. No, that would be
how
too
did
much
Nonstop
pressure.
become a viral TikTok hit again?
The switch.
Yeah, I just hit the switch. Like
hit the switch
bro.
Challenge. Listen, what's really interesting right now with all of this social distancing is that Haitian children are introducing their parents to TikTok, and it's the most entertaining shit in the world.
That is awesome.
Oh man,
shout to Haitian TikTok.
Shouts to Haitian American TikTok and Haitian old head TikTok. All right, so we got a ton of new music that came out this week. Thundercat dropped a joint called Fair Chance. It's a tribute to Mac Miller. It features Ty Dolla $ign and Lil B. All of those words together sound better than what the song actually ended up being. I'm sorry.
It's not a bad song. It's just a song.
It could have been. It feels like it really was meant to be kind of like an intro or a interlude on the album. But it's there. It exists. We got some new joints from Smoke Perp and Roddy. I'm sorry, not Roddy Rich. Rich the Kid. I get them confused. It's too many kids out there.
Rich dropped the whole album.
Is that video from the album?
Boss Man, yes, from the Boss Man album. Yeah.
That came out last week?
Yes.
So much shit came out last week.
Yeah. I'll let you go through the singles then. We'll go through these albums. We had a good amount.
So I just discovered CJ Fly last week. I'm not a pro era person. I love the idea of what's his name? What's the little boy name that rapped like he was born in 87?
He's not a little boy anymore.
I mean, he was born in 87. That rapped like he was born in
Joey
67.
Badass.
Joey Badass. I love the idea of Joey Badass. I respect Joey Badass and all that he does. I'm not a fan of his music.
I'm just not like, I didn't have an opportunity to get into his crew. And like I was, we used to go out and be around Static when he was on doing this thing with them. And, I'm a big Joey guy, especially after watching Joey act.
Mm-hmm. I'm a fan of Joey Badass, the actor.
Yeah, he's a dope actor. I mean, I get it. I get Joey Badass. I just don't have time to expand to. It's like Flatbush Zombies. Like I don't have time. Or ASAP Crew. Like I don't have. I listen to Cozy
go
Tapes.
Into everybody.
I did listen to Cozy Tapes, but I just can't go down every rabbit hole. Like I got ASAP Rocky. I got Ferg. Then I'm done.
That's it. That's all we needed. Well, so CJ Fly dropped a project called Rude Boy, and just like the title makes it seem, it's a lot of West Indian influences, a lot of him tapping into, like he even actually uses the word Jamaican on one of the songs. Like I think he calls himself New Generation Born Jamaican. Static Selector produced the whole thing. It's fucking fire. And then this week they just dropped the song. Well, Static dropped the song with Terminology, Code of the Fiend, and CJ Fly. And I think the song is called 1982.
1982. Yeah.
I couldn't tell if that was the name of the song.
They had like the theme thing where they do like the years, the 80s years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, the song is called Relatable. The project is called 1982.
1982, yeah. They did a live stream.
Or the Quarantine.
They did a live stream this week.
1982 is their crew. That's what it is. Terminology and Static Selected together are 1982. The project is called The Quarantine. The song is called Relatable. Code of the Fiend, CJ Fly, and Terminology, of course. I, being an old nigga from New York in my heart, enjoyed it. I'm an old New York nigga that can't get into Joey Badass. Go fig. Who else we got? Rob Markman. Shouts to Rob Markman. Rob Markman dropped a song called TODT Hill, I think is the name of the song. TODT Hill. It is high level dad rap in that I think the hook talks about real estate, buying real estate. He name drops Zillow in the song. But this song actually came to our attention because when Rob dropped it one Sunday, he also tweeted out that he appreciates the support that he's getting from all of his, and y'all know Rob Markman is an OG rap journalism like guy. He's the reason why MTV started paying attention to mixtapes when they had Mixtape Mondays. So we all know that he obviously has a lot of people that work in music media that either worked with him at some point, worked up under him at some point, looked up to him, whatever. So cats show love. And I'm not saying that they're just showing love because of that, because if the music was trash, we wouldn't. But he particularly made it a point to call out these outlets and say, hey, I list the featured producer. Please do the same.
Right. And shout out to Burns Beats, the featured producer. Todd Hill is an affluent neighborhood in Staten Island.
Well, there you go. Who would know that? Because people don't go to Staten Island. Sorry.
But the dope thing about Rob Markham is when you go on his Genius profile, which if you're an artist or a producer, you should be signed up for Genius. You should have a Genius profile.
You have a profile. You just don't know that it's there, and it has a whole bunch of wrong information.
If you put out music. But if you're a new artist, you should sign up with Genius and put your lyrics on Genius. So your fans can go on there, find your stuff. You'll show up in SEO and all that cool stuff. But Rob, who's a verified Genius person, obviously, went and did notes on his song. So he kind of gives you like an idea of some of the things that he's talking about. So Todd neighborhood is an influential area in Staten Island. He said he gets inspired every time he drives past there. He's got a really cool line about Capadonna. And apparently there's an area or a street called Capadano. So now I'm intrigued. I'm like, oh, is this where Capadonna got his name from?
Are you intrigued enough to go to Staten Island, though?
Father Capadano Boulevard. See, so I drive through Staten Island. It's the quick way to get to Brooklyn.
Shouts to Paul Cantor, who took me to Staten Island in 2001, and I have yet to return.
I don't know if I've driven through Staten Island a million times. I don't think I've ever actually.
Oh no, I hung out.
Been to Staten? Yeah,
I hung out.
Nope.
For a minute.
All of my years in New York. Nope. Nope. Exit 13, Verrazano, Brooklyn.
But yeah, not only yes, outlets do what Rob is saying, give the producers their credit, but artists, your song doesn't exist without the beat.
And that's the big thing. Like, it's not even about record labels or A&Rs. Artists should make sure that the people that they work with get credit.
Period. Because ultimately, like, the label gonna do what you want them to do, and your management is going to fight for you if you're adamant enough about it.
And it's clear, you can tell, and we can tell because we cover this every week. Who cares? We can tell when the artist is like, okay, these are my guys. I'm gonna make sure that their stuff's in there. I'm gonna make sure my engineer's in there. I'm gonna make sure that, the guy who was getting coffee for me at the studio, is in there. And that's clutch because that's all these people have.
Oh, but their tag is on the song. I don't give a fuck. I don't know what the tag is, bro. I don't know. Until I worked with June James, I really thought that his tag said Sean Garrett Jr. for the longest. It says Junior Genius.
I'm so mad at that.
The first time I heard this shit, I was like, Sean Garrett Jr.? Like, is Sean Garrett's son old enough to be producing? Why would that be your tag, even if you were? Real facts. Real like, so please, give people credit.
I know Weezy's out of here. He fucked that nigga up.
So Dave East dropped music. I guess I want
you don't want to talk about
Dave East really wants you guys to just remember that he's a rapper. So he just dropped 2 songs. He dropped one on the 12th and he dropped one on the 14th. The one he dropped on the 12th is called Really With Me. It's very I don't know. I fuck with that one. The other one is called Dirty Little Nigga, and I don't fuck with that one. And I listened to Dirty Little Nigga, and I literally said, "Oh, Dave East, just go be pretty." Because when there is a severe shortage of fine rappers, and you are fairly universally recognized by female fans as a fine ass nigga, and you can't sell records.
Better you than me on this one, sis.
I'm just saying. Y'all know, that what brought life back into LL Cool J's career?
The people who are writing the songs.
No, but I mean, which songs?
Um,
Hey Lover.
Hey Lover. Yeah, the girly songs.
Lounging.
Yeah, Lounging. Who they can,
If women like your music, listen, these broads fucking still going crazy for Method Man's damn near 50-year-old ass.
We know you can rap, bro. We know. But you got to make bangers. You got to make records. You got to make hits, which means you got to get with hit makers. My thing, we're on this industry together. We all know each other. We know who's tight. We know who's dope. Why don't you have more songs with more writers? Go out to L.A., do some shit with Ty Dolla $ign. Get with all these up-and-coming hook writers. Come down to Atlanta. I heard Jadakiss on the radio. And in Atlanta, he was doing, I think, Dash with the homies. And they asked him who he wanted to work with. He said all them niggas with their tags in the beginning of the beat. Basically saying that he wants to diversify and work with a lot of these popping Southern producers and artists, and it's cool.
I think that part of it is, maybe that Davies doesn't want to embrace his status as a sex symbol, and he wants y'all to take him seriously as a rapper.
I just want Davies to
make a song that we can play.
If you're going to make music of a certain vein, make that music with the best of that genre, and that's it. And I think that's the difference between the Davies and the Meek Mill. Meek Mill has learned to do it. And he'll get a hit song here and there. And they're very similar. But Meek will catch a joint and it'll be out of here.
Yeah.
And Dave just hasn't caught that. And we've all been waiting on that. I've been waiting on that for 6-7 years, Dave. Come on.
Okay. Well, in defense of my stance on Davies, I discovered Davies when I used to playlist music on my show daily, and obviously he put something out that made me pay attention. So anyway, speaking of people who just can't catch it, Ace Hood has a new song out, and so does Troy Ave. And moving past that, Smino's back with a joint called Tempo that I enjoyed very much. The producer is VZN. I'm assuming that means Vision. That joint was really dope. And our little favorite, Guap Dad, has a new song out called Greedy. It sounded really familiar when I listened to it, but I enjoyed it.
I'm here for any Guap Dad, man. That kid's got a great energy about him.
And if you were wondering whether or not the success of female artists is going to continue the way that it has been, Cash Doll just dropped a joint called Rich Hoochie. I really want to change my Twitter name to Rich Hoochie.
And it's fire.
It's fire. It's really good.
I was like, wait, that hook is crazy.
That hook is, listen, I want that song. I want that song to go off. Like, it deserves to be a hit.
Yeah.
It deserves to. Unfortunately, we're not going to be in a club for the next however long.
Listen,
and so
we going to be.
You know what? I'm going to throw a fucking virtual party. Watch.
Why not? We throw parties where you walk around with headphones
I'm legit. I'm going to. Actually, I know exactly how I'm going to do it. I know exactly how I'm going to do it, too. So y'all, at St. Boogie, if you care, I'll share the details there. And I didn't mean to make that rhyme. Danny Lay dropped a joint with the baby that I enjoyed way less than I thought I was going to. It's called Levi High. And I may not have enjoyed it because I watched the video and the video kind of cuts up the song a little bit. And Tiana Taylor dropped a really good song called We Got Love, but she, baited and switched by telling us there was a Lauryn Hill feature on there. Surprise!
It's not. It's just her talking.
And I don't even know if that's new talk or if it's old talk from that MTV Unplugged project.
And that's cool. I mean, I didn't really need Lauryn Hill on the song.
At all, because the song was banging. And it's no different than Otis says it features Otis Redding, which clearly it does not. So, that's fine. But also, you guys, on our latest episode of our favorite rap soap opera, Kalani has a new song called Toxic.
Toxic.
Features lines like, that good dick is toxic. This love is so toxic, or that good dick keeps coming back. I don't know. Listen, she is sprung.
You can't find no more good dick.
And can't get right.
There's more good dick out there.
I really want this. Let me just go ahead and take this as a moment. I know that there's a lot of guys listening to us. And so, guys, I'm sorry. Well, actually, no, because this is advocating for y'all. Ladies, good dick is not hard to find. Good dick on a good dude that you want to keep, whole different conversation. But good dick, it's not hard to find.
Well, what I will say is, good dick that's worried about you enjoying the experience might be hard to find.
No, it's not.
No.
Don't ask how I know. I've asked a panel of 100 people. And I can tell you that these are facts. It's not hard. Y'all be wanting a good dick to fall in love with you, and that's where the problem happens. Okay.
There you go. That's what it is.
Hi. Alrighty. What we got coming out this week? Or did we talk about last week's shit? No, we talked about Jay Elec.
So
and that was in Uzi.
Blueface found the shelves, or he found
the beat,
the store. He released the album. Find the beat.
Did you listen?
No, I'm not. You know, I was here months ago when it was supposed to come out.
Ready to listen?
And now I'm just, the moment's passed for me.
I heard a third of the hook on one song and was just like, nope, it's not for me.
Chica came out with her EP, Industry Games.
Really good.
She's just an amazing artist. Raps,
from Alabama,
sings, hooks crazy. I thought she's from Detroit.
Well, she said from Alabama on the project. Unless it was somebody featured on the song that said they were from Alabama.
Whatever. Them joints was fire. I mean, if you have not gotten into Chica, she's an artist whose name we need to start circulating more. Mm-hmm. Because if we don't, somebody else is going to do it anyway. Because her talent is undeniable. So Chica Industry Games is 7 tracks. Make sure you check that out. Super fire. Don Toliver, Heaven or Hell. Don Toliver is a Houston rapper. He's a member of Jack Boys. He is Team Travis Scott, and his album is doing amazingly well.
He's signed to Travis's label, right?
Yes. Yep.
That's what I thought.
And the album is moving. I mean, he's got features with Cash Page, Travis Scott, got Quavo, Offset, Sheck West on that joint. Sunny Digital's got a couple joints on here, specifically Cardigan, which is a bop.
I'll have to go and check that out.
So, yeah, Don Toliver, good project. Definitely worth your listen.
I don't know how we didn't pay attention to Frida. Well, I know how, because Jay Elec, and then...
Yeah, like, because when I looked at it, you know, I was like, oh, okay. I know that's going to be, you know, some dancey joints.
Yeah.
You know, some nice bounce vibes on there.
Did you listen to it?
No,
we haven't. It was so much going on.
I've been stuck on Jay Electronica.
So I think it's really funny. I just saw a headline that says Beyonce shot the album cover for that Jay Electronica album. It's a picture of some trees.
I can see it on an iPhone. That's what we're doing these days. So whatever.
I feel like releasing that little detail is a stunt, but you know, whatever.
Rich the Kid, Boss Man, came out. Low key, I think my favorite release besides Jay Electronica, well, we had Trolls, which dropped. We also have that on the site. But Tiny was my favorite drop. And he did a 7-track. It's called Neon 16 Tape, The Kids That Grew Up on Reggaeton.
Oh, that's an amazing name.
That joint is impressive.
That's an amazing name.
It is. Listen, I probably played it twice all the way through before I realized, because it's only 7 joints, a quick listen. But, man, whatever he didn't give to Bad Bunny, he kept for himself. And, I mean, it's legit. Like, if you like music, you need to go listen to that joint. I was highly impressed. So that was my second favorite drop of last week. So, yeah. And then Donald Glover.
Of course, which I enjoyed very much.
Came out for 10 seconds.
All right, you guys. Hey, just want to remind you once again that, you know, we don't just care about big artists dropping shit. Nah. iStandard has a section called Approved Audio, where we feature shit by, like, people that we actually fuck with that drop dope shit. It has to be dope, though.
Yes.
Don't send me no babbage.
We also have a section for beat tapes.
We do.
So if you guys have beat tapes, send them over. And if they're dope.
And we're also building up all of our playlists.
Because we might be dropping an internet radio station.
I mean, listen, we're supporters of music, so
playing beats all day.
We're supporters of music. You guys are looking for lo-fi. You guys are looking for beats that you can listen to while you're doing your work. And
we also trying to generate income for folks.
And we want to generate income for folks. And by folks, we mean y'all. We don't mean us. I mean, we mean us too, but, you know.
All right,
Really.
so next week's drops.
Next week's drops.
We don't have a lot of stuff, but we have some pretty decent drops. We got Alicia Keys.
I'm not, huh?
Alicia Keys is
Okay.
dropping Alicia. 15 tracks.
See. Yo, but I still listen to Diary so much that I don't understand how me and Alicia are here in 2020.
I don't know how you guys are here either, because she's one of the most entertaining people. She's one of the most talented people. Like, I loved watching her host the Grammys. It was just like her walking around, jump on the piano. Like, she's like a Vegas lounge act that I just want to keep watching. She's like, yo, I want her and John Legend to have a variety show. Like, I would absolutely love that. And of course, having their significant others featured on it, I think that'd be cool too. Can we make that a thing? I think I'm gonna put that up to Chrissy Teigen, see if she wants to help get that going. Adam Lambert.
I won't be watching.
Adam Lambert is dropping also.
Okay.
We got
Jesse Reyes. You're excited about that one?
Oh, I am. Shit,
next week's the 27th?
No, wait.
Am I ahead?
Yeah, she went too far.
Oh, I'm sorry. Next week is the 27th though, but
yes,
this Friday
is
is the 20th.
Yeah,
okay,
we got J Balvin. J Balvin's dropping.
Yo, J Balvin has a song called Blanco that's on that album. That album is called Colores. So every song on the album is a name of a color. Blanco just broke some Billboard record as well. But when I tell you that is a fucking bop, you don't even have to understand what he's saying. I'm telling you, Blanco by J Balvin. Go look for it.
We also got the deluxe version of Mac Miller's Circles. We got Morrissey. That's a throwback name. I Am Not a Dog on a Chain.
Oh, okay.
We got The Weeknd dropping After Hours finally.
I just feel like we've been waiting too long for that project and now nobody cares.
I'm ready.
Okay, cool. It's just me.
Yes.
It's fine. I'm okay.
The Weeknd's about to destroy some shit with that album.
Sure.
And then we got my homegirl Toki Monster dropping Oasis Nocturno. So, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty low-key, but quality week. Somebody's going to drop some random shit. Somebody's going to decide they're putting out an album tomorrow.
Who would you want to see a surprise album by right now? Like, who could drop? I mean, we already got all that we're going to get from Hove, so we're good on Hove for another year, probably. Who else?
I don't, at this point, because I know who I don't want stuff from. Like, I think I have a longer list of people
Speaking of not wanting stuff from, I just saw a fucking headline that we're still going to get this Joel Santana Lil Wayne album, and I'm like, who? Why?
The one we're supposed to get 10 years ago?
Yes, that one.
I Can't Feel My Face.
Listen, Jay Elect just put a battery in a whole bunch of people's backs.
Yeah.
Kwali's like, oh, so people are ready for a Black Star album. And we're like, we were ready for a Black Star album when you told us Jay Electronica notwithstanding.
Has nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you, guy.
We were here, but okay. But yeah, I Can't Feel My Face. Is that what project that was? Because when I saw the headline, I couldn't even remember what the project was.
That was the name from back in the day. So I don't even know what it is now. Is he still in jail? Because he just dropped a project called Free Santana a couple weeks ago.
He did?
Okay. And he was in jail.
Was he?
He was.
Okay. I'm sorry, you guys. Y'all know I don't pay attention.
I want y'all all to be out here safe and sound.
Yes, please. Please. And when we say safe and sound, yes. Yes, okay. Max B is still in jail. When we say safe and sound, you guys, not just your bodies, but also your mental health, you guys. Please love each other. Take care of each other.
Drink lots
of
water.
Be really smart. Check the dates on the articles that you're reading. Mind your fucking business. Check on your neighbors. Don't put your grandparents at risk with your dumbass need to be outside.
Just call your neighbors, though. Don't, go check on them. Social distancing.
Right. Well, I mean, if it's less than 10 people.
Knock on the wall.
Knock on the door and don't touch nobody.
Y'all good?
Knock on the door and don't touch nobody.
Y'all good, man?
Okay. The show is at the Chop Block Pod on everything except for Instagram, where it is at Chop Block Pod. He is at Scissorp215.
And she is at Saint Boogie.
And the brand is at iStandard. And we out.
Please. please remember to
wash your fucking hands.
Your local.
I'm sorry, that's not where you were going.
Yes, wash your hands also, and please support your local creators. Thank you. Goodbye.